Level 0. Nobody. 0 to 200 followers. Your name means nothing to anyone outside your immediate contacts. You post a video at 11 p.m. after your shift, edit it on your phone with the free version of an app, and go to sleep before it even finishes uploading. In the morning, it has 14 views. 9 of them are you, refreshing. Nobody replies to your comments. Nobody shares your posts. Your cousin likes everything out of obligation, and your mom asks why you're still doing that phone thing instead of getting a real hobby. You keep posting anyway, not because you believe it'll go anywhere, but because stopping feels worse than being ignored. This is the level almost nobody survives. 90% of people who start quit here, in the silence, before anything happens at all. The ones who don't quit aren't smarter or more talented. They're just stubborn in a very specific, slightly unhealthy way. Level 1. The first spark. 1,000 to 20,000 followers. One video does something the others didn't. You don't know why. Maybe the algorithm liked your thumbnail. Maybe someone with an audience shared it. Maybe you got lucky with timing. Whatever it is, you wake up to 900 notifications instead of 9. It feels enormous. It is not enormous. 20,000 followers is still small enough that you could fit every single one of them in a decent-sized concert hall, but it's the first time strangers exist on the other side of the screen. Actual people typing actual words about you. You get your first hate comment here, and it wrecks you for an entire day because you're not built for it yet. You also get your first message from someone saying your content helped them through something hard, and that one you screenshot and keep forever. Brands start noticing, sort of. You get offered a free hoodie in exchange for a post. You say yes, because it feels like proof you're real now. Even though the hoodie is worth $11 and the partnership lasts one story that disappears in 24 hours. Level 2. The grind. 50,000 to 300,000 followers. This is the level where fame stops being a fun surprise and starts being a job you didn't apply for. You're posting daily, sometimes twice daily, because you've learned that any gap longer than 48 hours costs you momentum you'll spend a week rebuilding. You get recognized in public for the first time. Someone at a grocery store does a double take, then works up the courage to ask if you're that person from the videos. It's flattering for exactly 4 seconds. Then it's strange. You're holding a basket of frozen vegetables, and someone is filming you holding a basket of frozen vegetables. Money starts appearing, but not in the way people assume. A brand deal here, a small ad revenue payout there. Enough that you consider quitting your regular job, but not enough that quitting feels safe. You do the math obsessively. You post a day in my life video where you look effortless, and it takes 6 hours and 4 outfit changes to make 11 minutes look effortless. The people who knew you before start treating you differently, in small ways you can't quite name. Some pull away, uncomfortable with the shift. Some pull closer, and you can't always tell which kind of closer it is. Level 3. Going viral. 1 million to 5 million followers. Something you made. Maybe something you didn't even think was your best work. Breaks containment. It leaves your usual audience and lands in front of people who've never heard of you. And for about 72 hours, your name is everywhere. News outlets you've actually heard of write articles about you. Some of them spell your name wrong. You correct exactly 0 of them, because you've learned that correcting the internet is a full-time job with no pay. You hit 1 million followers on a random Tuesday, sitting on your bathroom floor because it's the only quiet room in your apartment, and you cry for reasons you can't fully explain even to yourself. This is also the level where the internet decides it's allowed to have opinions about your face, your body, your relationships, your past. Things you posted 3 years ago when nobody was watching resurface with captions that strip away all the context you had. You learn, fast, that the internet doesn't forget, and it doesn't care why you said what you said. It only cares what you said. You hire your first team member, someone to manage the emails, the brand deals, the things you no longer have time to answer yourself. It's the first time being you online becomes a business with employees, and something about that shift is quietly disorienting. You built this by being yourself, unfiltered, at midnight, exhausted. Now there are 3 people in a group chat discussing your brand voice. Level 4. Mainstream recognition. 10 million to 25 million followers. You're not just famous online anymore. You're famous, period. Talk show bookings. A magazine wants you for a cover, and for the first time, A stylist picks your outfit instead of you standing in front of your closet at midnight regretting every choice. You go to an event and realize, with a strange lurch, that people are more nervous to talk to you than you are to talk to them. A kid asks for a photo, hands shaking, and you sign something for the first time in your life, an autograph, an actual autograph, on a napkin, because neither of you brought paper. The money is real now. Life-changing real. You buy your parents a house, and it's the best 5 minutes of the entire journey. Better than any of the followers. Better than any of the headlines. Your mom cries in the driveway. You realize this is the only part of fame that ever actually felt like the reason you started. But privacy is gone in a way you didn't fully prepare for. Paparazzi outside restaurants. Fake stories about your relationships that your own family calls to ask about. Half joking, half not. You start double-checking who's around before you say anything even slightly honest in public, because you've learned that honesty, at this level, becomes content whether you consent to it or not. Level 5, A-list, 50 million plus followers, global recognition. You've reached the level where you don't have a type of fan anymore. You have generations of them. Grandparents know your name because their grandkids explained who you are at Thanksgiving. You walk through an airport in another country, a place you've never been, and get recognized before you clear customs. Every room you walk into changes shape around you. People laugh harder at your jokes than the jokes deserve. Assistants exist to remove friction from your day so completely that you sometimes go weeks without doing something as small as ordering your own coffee. It sounds like a dream, and for the first few months at this level, it genuinely is. Then the quiet cost starts showing up. You realize you can't remember the last time someone disagreed with you and meant it, not because you're always right, but because disagreeing with you now has consequences for other people's jobs. You realize your circle of people who knew you before all of this has shrunk to almost nobody, not because they left, but because it became logistically impossible for normal friendships to survive the schedule, the security, the distance. You have more money than you could spend in 10 lifetimes, and you find yourself, at 2 a.m. in a hotel room in a city you can't name off the top of your head, scrolling through old photos from level 0. The blurry ones, the ones with 14 views, 9 of them you. And somehow, impossibly, some part of you misses it. Not the poverty, not the anonymity struggle, just the version of yourself that existed before every single thing you said had an audience attached to it. The truth nobody tells you at level 0. Here's what almost nobody says out loud. Fame doesn't fix the thing you think it'll fix. If you start at level 0 lonely, you can end up at level 5 lonelier, just with better lighting and more people in the room who won't admit it. If you start anxious, the anxiety doesn't leave with the followers. It just gets a bigger stage and higher stakes. The people who make it through all 5 levels intact, genuinely intact, not just successful, are almost always the ones who kept one thing constant the entire way up. A person, or a handful of people, who knew them before any of it and would still know them if all of it disappeared tomorrow. Not fans, not a team, not an algorithm. Real people who liked you back at level 0 when there was nothing to gain by staying. Every level of fame promises you'll finally be seen. Nobody warns you that being seen and being known are 2 completely different things, and the second one is the only one that was ever actually going to make you happy. If you've ever chased something thinking it would finally make you feel like enough, drop a heart. You already know this story doesn't end where you think it does. Subscribe for more real POV stories about the lives you never see coming.